There's a huge global talent crisis brewing right now. And the solution? Well, it might be coming from a place you wouldn't expect, the African continent. Today, we're going to break down this incredible remote work revolution. And it's something that's changing the future of work for literally everyone.
Okay, so the whole story really kicks off with this one simple but really powerful contrast. On one side, you've got the global north, aging populations, a serious talent shortage, and on the other, Africa. It's the complete opposite, a massive surplus of young, super ambitious talent. And this imbalance, well, it's creating this incredible economic pull.
And when I say the difference is big, I mean it's staggering. Get this, nearly 60% of Africa's entire population is under 25 years old. That's what economists call a demographic dividend. It's this huge wave of youthful energy and potential just waiting to jump into the workforce. Honestly, it might be the single most powerful force shaping the future of global talent right now.
So what happens when a continent bursting with talent meets a world that's absolutely desperate for it? Let's dig into this imbalance.
The scale of what's happening is, well, it's kind of hard to wrap your head around. A projected 79% population surge. I mean, think about that. Within just 30 years, sub-Saharan Africa is going to be home to the world's youngest and largest workforce. That's a huge shift.
But, all this incredible potential runs smack into a major hurdle. Every single year, 12 million graduates hit the job market. The problem? The traditional, local economies just can't keep up. They can't create enough jobs to absorb all these talented people. And that leads to a really severe youth unemployment crisis.
And in some countries, the numbers are, well, they're genuinely alarming. We're talking about South Africa's youth unemployment rate hitting over 60% in 2024. Angola is not far behind either. It just screams out that there's this critical, urgent need for totally new kinds of opportunities.
But okay, here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. This global trend that we're all familiar with, remote work, is stepping in and completely rewriting the rules. It's turning that massive unemployment challenge into a huge competitive advantage.
You see, for decades, the story of African talent was all about brain drain. The unwritten rule was, if you were ambitious and skilled, you pretty much had to leave to find a good opportunity. We're talking over 20,000 professionals a year leaving the continent and taking all their skills and potential with them.
But remote work? It's completely flipping that script. It's creating something we could call talent retention. Suddenly, these skilled professionals can get competitive, global jobs and make global-level wages without ever leaving their home countries, their communities. This is an absolute game changer.
So let's get real for a second. What does this talent retention actually look like in someone's wallet? The impact, it's not just a little bump, it's truly transformative.
I mean, just look at this table. It's life-changing stuff. An IT support engineer in Nigeria might go from making what, maybe $100 a month to $500 working remotely. A content writer in Kenya, they can more than double their income. This isn't just a pay raise, you guys. It's a leap into a whole new economic reality.
An 8 times salary increase. Just let that sink in for a second. Think about what that really means. It doesn't just change one person's life. That new money gets spent right there in the local community, on housing, on food, on local services. It creates this amazing ripple effect that actually helps lift up the entire community.
Okay, so this revolution isn't just happening randomly all over the place. Nope. It's being built up in these specific, really vibrant hubs. They're becoming the new digital nerve centers of the entire continent. Yeah, we're talking about cities like Lagos, Nairobi, Johannesburg, and Kampala. They're becoming these incredible epicenters for the digital transformation. Lagos, for example, has even been called the world's fastest-growing tech hub. These places are becoming total powerhouses, pulling in talent and investment from all over.
And you know what's a super critical part of this whole ecosystem? The rise of co-working spaces. I mean, sure, they solve the practical problems, right? Like maybe you have unreliable internet or power at home, but what's just as important is they fix the isolation problem of remote work. They build community, they help people network professionally. It's a huge piece of the puzzle.
Okay, but let's be real. It's not all sunshine and roses. To get the full picture here, we have to talk about the very real hurdles that still exist and need to be overcome.
The digital divide is a big one. You've got internet penetration sitting at just 37% across the continent, which is way below the global average of 67%. And then there's power. Almost half the population, 46%, doesn't have reliable electricity. These are, fundamental roadblocks for digital work.
But here's the cool part. The continent isn't just sitting around waiting for old-school infrastructure to be built. It's leapfrogging, basically skipping the old tech and jumping straight to the new stuff. So forget landlines. Mobile broadband is king. You've got new satellite internet tech connecting remote areas, and get this, companies are even stepping in, providing data allowances and power banks to solve the problem for their employees directly.
So you get past the infrastructure issues, and then you hit a huge legal headache. It's called permanent establishment risk, and it's a big deal for foreign companies. Just imagine this. Your company hires one single remote worker in another country, and then all of a sudden that country's government turns around and says, hey, your whole company owes us corporate taxes now. Yeah, it's a massive, massive barrier to hiring.
But as usual, the market came up with a really clever solution. There are these services called Employer of Record, or EORs for short. Think of them like a local legal middleman. They handle all the complicated stuff, payroll, taxes, compliance, making it totally simple and risk-free for a company in, say, New York to hire amazing talent in Nairobi.
So, with the technical hurdles and the legal headaches being actively solved, the floodgates are really starting to open. The stage is officially set for what people are now calling the Great Remote Race. And the projections here are just mind-blowing. We're looking at a 42% growth in digital jobs across Africa by 2030. And the engine behind almost all of that growth? Remote hiring. This incredible potential is what's sparking this fierce new competition, the Great Remote Race.
And this isn't just something that's happening by accident. Not at all. Governments are getting in on the action. They're actively competing with each other. You have countries like Rwanda and Ghana creating these really deliberate national strategies. Everything from new visa policies to tech incentives, all designed to position them as the #1 spot on the continent for remote work and investment.
So all of this leaves us with a really powerful final thought to chew on. As the whole idea of work becomes more and more global, more digital, and less tied to a specific place, is Africa, with its incredible young population and that leapfrogging spirit of innovation, poised to not just participate in this revolution, but to actually lead it?